Welcome back to the Michigan Business Beat, brought to you on the Michigan Business Network. Chris Holman here, and we're coming to you obviously from our studios at the Capital Region International Airport, and we have the head of many things, but we're going to introduce you right now as the head of the Travel Trust, which is related here, Paula Cunningham, who is also, by the way, the executive director of AARP Michigan. And so it's good to have you here. How you doing, Paula?
Always good to be in your presence, Chris. I'm doing great. If I was doing any better, I don't know where I'd probably be in heaven.
No, I won't get you that close, trust me. But let's talk a little bit about the Travel Trust and what it is.
The Mid-Michigan Business Travel Trust is a group of business people, or a lot of business people, who are interested in the economic development of this airport, understanding that the more this airport thrives, the more our economy thrives, the more our region thrives, the more jobs, hotels, restaurants. So we are supportive of this airport and all the work that it does.
You know, I think people don't realize, they overlook the fact that this is an economic driver. And I tell people I can name you 3 companies right now that would pull out of this community without an airport.
And, and I don't want to just sing your praises, but you've been involved with this airport for a very, very long time, and you've actually motivated, inspired me to kind of get more involved and pay attention. And I'm hoping I can inspire other people, particularly business owners, to pay attention, to make the pledge to fly Lansing first, if at all possible. We know sometimes it's not, but at least make the pledge to fly Lansing first.
Yeah, look at it. And, it's interesting because people don't realize, even those of you who are out there traveling with family or whatever, it's a commodity, those seats, and the price does vacillate.
Absolutely. And for every time someone flies, that's another job, that's another airline attendant, that's another pilot, that's someone else who's helping to support this economy. And so whether it's for social reasons, fun, entertainment, or whether it's business, consider Lansing first. And that's what the Mid-Michigan Business Travel Coalition tries to encourage, inspire businesses to do. And we're growing strong.
So they're businesses, but they're also other organizations, a lot of nonprofits, educational institutes.
Absolutely. Just think of Michigan State University. Think of the hospitals and how many of those folks go to different conferences and conventions across the world, quite frankly. And a lot of times they say, it's only a 2-hour drive to Detroit. Well, if you think about what it means to fly out of Lansing, how you're helping the economy, and then plus the highways, plus the construction, plus the gas, plus the parking. Think about it, folks. That's all I'm saying. Just think about it.
We used to market that back in the day as the hassle factor.
Yes.
It was like how much more it costs you and the additional 2 hours.
Absolutely.
Right?
And, and I represent 1.3 million people, older adults in Michigan who are 50 and older. They like to eliminate that hassle factor as
Convenience
much as possible. Convenience is huge for everybody, quite frankly.
No,
but right here, and it's so friendly, so easy to get to, parking so accessible. So people just need to think about it, and often they don't.
It's interesting. We're able to wrangle you today because there's a big thing going on here today. Tell everybody about that.
Well, thanks to Nicole Noel Williams, who has been the most phenomenal leader of this airport and has brought, I think, over like $10 million just this year alone into this airport, more than that probably. Today we are actually doing the ribbon cutting for Breeze, I like saying that, Breeze Airline, who's going to be flying nonstop to Fort Myers and to Orlando on Wednesday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday. But look at flylansing.com and look up Breeze. And it's a low-cost carrier, but there are first-class seats for those who like, the first-class comfort. But it's phenomenal what she's done and what's happening here at this airport.
Yeah, and my feedback has been, wait till you get in the seats.
Yeah.
Because the planes, these are Airbuses.
Yes.
And the planes are really nice.
Yes.
They're all new.
Yes, and people are going to be very surprised, when they get inside. And again, if there's leg room, there's all the conveniences of any other major airline, and they're right here in Lansing.
This is going to help a lot of the snowbirds that live out by me.
Yes.
Who have to come back several
It's
times.
going to help those of us who want to go away for a weekend.
Well, there's that. I mean, if you
Just all of the above.
you mentioned the schedule, and it is Wednesday, Saturday, and Thursday, Sunday, which allows you, like an extended weekend, to go see what they used to call the sun. In the winter, I don't know what they call it.
Absolutely, and for children as well, the times that they're departing and returning are convenient for children. So you get there, you still have some time to hang out in Florida a little bit. So we just encourage people to take a look at it and understand how when they do that, they're helping this economy.
It's kind of interesting because Orlando, a couple of years ago, we went down there and we were guests of their Convention Visitors Bureau, and they showed us all the things there were to do non-Disney.
Yes.
And it was overwhelming.
Well, my husband and I have gone there for like 4 or 5 years in a row. We've never gone to Disney. Sorry, Disney, but we don't do Disney anymore. There's
What?
so much. There's a PGA golf show in January. There's all sorts of wonderful things that go on in Florida. So we encourage people on behalf of the Mid-Michigan Business Travel Coalition first to take the pledge. Make certain that your employees, your folks know that they should look at Lansing first. And also for those who are not part of that, just to look at flying Lansing even for your own personal and social entertainment.
All right, so let's take a break from the airport for just a second. Tell me, you've got a strategic plan for AARP coming up.
Yes, AARP is continuing to work on behalf of those older adults 50 plus and their families and their communities. And people forget that. So it's not just them, but also their families. Home and community-based services. People want to age in place. I mean, you and I don't want to go to an institution. Chris, we've talked about this. We want to stay.
My wife's in favor of that. But
That's a different kind of institution, a padded cell for you. But we want people to be able to age in place at home. We're looking at caregiving. We look at financial security. The fastest growing age is 85 and older. And people are outliving their money. So
That's us.
AARP is planning to make certain that they have options as they age.
Well, hey, thanks for being with us today and your involvement in the Travel Coalition
And
as well.
thanks for also saying yes every time I asked you. You were also the former volunteer president for AARP, so I appreciate you. You and I kind of got something going on here.
You're very influential.
It's good.
Very
It's good.
influential.
Thank you.
All right, Paula Cunningham, head of the Travel Trust here at the Lansing Regional International Airport. I'm Chris Holman. You're watching the Michigan Business Beat on the Michigan Business Network.